We're going to be performing a hip external rotation sequence from a 90-90 sit position. I'll walk you through all 4 things that we're doing, and then we'll do them together. We're going to start in getting into 90-90 sit position, which is where the front leg and back leg from hip and knee are both at a 90-degree angle. So you want to make sure that instead of having your feet closer to your body, push them away and open those knees up to a 90-degree angle. Our first exercise is just a stretch. I'm going to have you rock your pelvis forward out over this front leg and then seek for a stretch. So you want to find a stretch along the back side of this upper glute tissue. So the back side of the hip. So you want to rock that pelvis forward, sit up onto your sit bones, even rock forward of that just a little bit. And then you can kind of move your torso around, find where you feel the best stretch. For me, I feel the best stretch when I'm sort of coming across my foot. So I actually rotate my torso towards my foot. I feel the best stretch there. Once we hold this stretch for a minute, we're going to perform pails and rails, 30 seconds apiece. Pails contraction is driving this entire lower leg down into the floor. So you're generating as much tension through that upper outer hip as you can. You want to build that tension over about the first 10 seconds and then find your safest, greatest effort. Our rails contraction is trying to lift this entire lower leg up off of the floor towards our torso while simultaneously thinking about drawing our torso further towards the leg. So we're trying to close this space, like there's a chain between your chest and your lower leg that is shortening. So you want to stay seated up off of that sit bone and pretend like you're pulling the leg in as though I were doing this. So that is our pails contraction, rails contraction. Following that, we're going to do 12 liftoffs, which is where we're lifting off into external rotation. So my suggestion is from this upright 90-90, you might want to start by just rocking over onto one elbow and see if you can externally rotate that leg. You can see that for me, that's even fairly hard. So I may have to reposition my torso a little bit more, play around with my positioning where I can hold my knee down and still lift that lower aspect of my leg. So for me, I have to come down to my elbow and then I still have to shift a little more forward over this leg to get a good lift off without the knee coming up off the floor. I really want to find a way to rotate solely through the hip this way. So we're going to do 12 lift-offs there. If you still need a little more help with the lift-offs, by all means, just go ahead and lay down, or if that's still too much, you can sort of use your hand to help you out a little bit and then just try to lower under your own power. There are a variety of different ways that you can approach this. I feel like most people can find a position that works for them to even get just a little bit of a lift off. Another position that I have utilized in the past is to draw my non-working leg up and sort of sit a little more upright and then lift from there. You can do that and then lay out on your side, play with your positioning, find what works, and then come back to this video and keep going. Once we're done with that, I'm gonna have you get back into your 90-90 sit position and we're gonna perform eccentrics across this leg. So the front leg, we're working on it still. We wanna get back into that seated position, drive the whole lower leg down into the floor, and then do your best to take your hands off of the floor, lean out over that leg. Keep driving the leg down. And over about a 10 count, we're gonna lay all the way out over the leg and then use your hands to push up. So we're only focusing on the eccentric portion of this movement, not the concentric. So I'm not gonna ask you to use your leg muscles or your hip muscles to drive yourself up from there. It's just the eccentric or the lowering. So if you're ready, let's go ahead and get into our stretch. Adopt this 90-90 sit position, rock your pelvis forward so that you're kind of sitting up over top of that front leg, and then find your good stretch. We're gonna hang out here for 1 minute. So once you get in position, you got 3, 2, 1, and stretch. So begin your stretch. We're gonna hang out here for a minute and then we're gonna go right into our pails and rails contraction. So again, your pails contraction is driving this front shin and lower leg down into the ground as hard as you can. The rails contraction is almost like you have a chain between your lower leg and your chest. You're trying to lift the lower leg up while simultaneously bringing your chest towards your leg. If you actually move, it means you're compensating in some way or you're not truly at your end range. There should be no movement with these isometric contractions. So you've got 25 seconds in your stretch left. Continue to play around, find the lines of tension that feel most taut. So you want to sort of seek with your torso, find those lines of tension, and then hang out. We've got 10 seconds left before we start our Pales contraction. Just keep stretching, take a few deep breaths. 3, 2, 1. All right, begin to drive the lower leg down. Hold your torso position, hold everything still. Just drive that lower leg down, ramp up tension. You want to find how to generate more and more and more tension into that lower leg. 15 seconds, keep pushing, work up to your safest, greatest effort. I want to see everybody shaking, sweating just a little. 8, push. 6, go, go, go. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, rails. So I want you to try and lift that lower leg towards your torso and your torso towards your lower leg. Nothing should be moving though. You're just trying to pull and close this gap. Pull, pull, pull. 15 seconds, keep pulling. Safest, greatest effort. Lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ugh. Hold here for just a second. Take a nice deep breath. Bring your heart rate down. We're going to get into our liftoffs next, but hang out here. Keep the stretch going for just a second. Let yourself come down. All right. So you can go ahead and adopt your liftoff position, whatever that looks like to you. I may lay down on one elbow and then draw my back non-working leg up like you see here. This is kind of a good starting position, I feel like, if you have limited external rotation like I do. So from this position, I'm going to hold my knee down to the floor, kind of rock my pelvis forward to plaster that knee down. Then I'm gonna work to lift the foot and then lower it back down under control. We're gonna hang out at the top for about a 3 count. So whatever position you end up in, get pretty comfortable. We're gonna be here 15 reps on a 3 count. So find your position, whatever position you can generate this external rotation, whether you're doing it with your leg back and you're able to do it from here, which I cannot, whether you just need to lay down and do it from there, I still cannot, or you need to adopt some other position, that's fine. So ready? We've got 15 liftoffs and go for it. 1, 2, 3. 2, 2, 3. 3, 2, 3. You should feel all this groin adductor stuff working. 4, 2, 3. 5, 2, 3. 6, 2, 3. 7, 2, 3. I'm going to see if I can raise myself up just a little bit more. 8, 2, 3. 9, 2, 3. Just got a lot harder. 10, 2, 3. 11, 2, 3. 12, 2, 3. 13, 2, 3. 14, 2, 3. One more. 15, 2, 3. Awesome. So those were our 15 liftoffs. We now have 5 eccentrics, and then your sequencing is done. So go ahead and get back into your 90-90 sit position. We have 5 reps here. This is a 5 rep max. So I want you to give me as much effort as you possibly can over the course of these 5 reps. If I said do a 6th rep, you'd be like, nah, I can't. So we've got 5 reps. Remember what you're doing. This is a Pales contraction. So you're generating that pressure down into the floor, and then you're overcoming it in an eccentric. So go ahead, get yourself in position, drive that leg down as hard as you can, and start to lean forward. If you need to have your hands on the floor, that is okay. Or if you want to try lifting your hands up, we're coming down on about a 10 count. And once you reach your bottom, go ahead and push back up to the top. We're going to start our second rep. So drive down, push as hard as you can, and then start leaning your torso forward. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Push up. There was 2. Let's go for the third rep. Drive down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Push up. There's 4. Try not to let your torso collapse too much. Try not to allow yourself to round over. You really want to fold over, so you're keeping your spine a little straight. Let's go for the fourth rep. Drive that leg down and go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Push up. We've got one last rep. Drive down and go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And push back up. That was pretty intense. So follow your programs, see if you've got another set of that to do, or do the other side, or move forward. That is 90-90 hip external rotation sequence.